Welcome back to Gaffers Salon. I'm John Roach. This will be a relatively quick episode. I'm going to revisit global 3D printing in the UK. I've been talking to Ross. He sent me a sample of this product I'm going to show you in a second. But I already own a bunch of their stuff. Look, a part of Gaffers Salon is promoting especially small owner-operator gaffers. These small sort of companies are making these sort of bespoke unique products for other gaffers. So Global 3D Printing, Ken Sadi in Belgium, other folks like that, some of our custom leather crafters. These are not paid endorsements by me. I've bought some of these products. Yes, I'm occasionally given products like this one for review, for feedback, but especially with Global 3D and Ken Sadi, I've bought everything from them because I want to support these small vendors that are really trying hard to make quality products for fellow gaffers. So I've covered some of Global 3D stuff in prior videos, but just to quickly review, one of my favorites is this tube holder. It'll hold any T12 tube. This is fantastic. I love this in a run and gun situation where you got a Helios, maybe you got a Helios light sock combo and you're just running around. This is friggin' perfect. Little anti-roll end caps that fit on the end of your Astera tubes. So when you set them on the ground, they won't roll and you can adjust your angle. They make a variety of all sorts of different clamps, single, double, quad, specialty ones that take 1/4 baby pins. They make a series of really nice magnets that I love these because I can put 8 of these into my four tube Titan kit. And it goes out with magnets, it goes out with the anti-roll end caps, it goes out with the tube holder. It's sort of upping my game in my rental market of tubes. And since I'm an owner-operator, these are all the things I like to have because you never know what's going to come up, right? So today, Ross sent me this Titan tube, or this will, any of the tubes, Titan, Helios, etc. We're going to talk about it on the Titan tube. Let me shut this off just so we can take a look. So it's essentially an egg crate. Here in the US, we often call these LCDs, light control devices. Apparently they don't do that in other parts of the world, but this, differs from, we have Honey Crate. They make roughly a 50-degree LCD. Fabric, folds flat, DOP choice, similar. I think theirs might be 40 or 50 degree, right? This, although Global doesn't specify the angle on this one, just looking at it, and if you look at the cells, there are more of them. It's a little bit narrower. I would say this feels to me more like 30 degree. And each of these are sections, right? So there are 4 sections. 2 are the same length, 2 are a little bit shorter. You can put them on in any configuration you want. However, each of the sections has little flaps here. And those flaps are designed to accommodate some kind of bulb plate, whether this is a modern studio, standard T12 bulb holder, and that fits on either of these 2. This one is more sized for the Astera standard wing plate. So these just clip right on. They're fairly robust. I think you could drop this. It's not going to crack. It's not like brittle plastic. And in fact, they send you an extra one of these in case for some reason you broke one of these tube holder end parts. It's 4 screws. You can put it right back on. So those pop on. You just line them up and you're good to go. So I think for me, what's really fascinating and kind of beautiful about this is the aesthetics of it, right? I think if I was doing an industrial job or commercial or something where I needed, the tubes were going to play in shot. This gives you a really interesting look aesthetically, right? I could easily see hanging these off eye hooks and wire, 8 of these down a long table. You're doing some sort of industrial shoot. They're going to play in the wide shot. These would play really nicely. Whereas something like the DOP choice of the Honey Crate, it might kind of look like a film thing, right? It might not look clean enough. This has a very visually appealing industrial feel to it that I think is really lovely. The only cons I could really think of for this are storage, right? Because you have a hard crate, not a soft crate that sort of folds down. So you have to store, if you have 4 of these per tube, you have 8 tubes, you're gonna have to store 32 of these. So you're gonna need a milk crate, maybe 2 milk crates, depending on how many tubes you have, how many parts you need for however many tubes you have. Storage would be the only thing I could really think of as a kind of a negative or a con maybe. But you're going for a different aesthetic look. Or you like the narrow throw of these. There's a number of reasons I think these are really handy. Price-wise, I think Ross told me he was putting these on sale. And again, the nice thing about this is you could pop 2 of these off, and you could use it on a Helios tube. So it gives you that flexibility. If you bought 4 of these for your Titans, but you also had 4 Helios, well, if you had to suddenly switch to Helios instead of Titan, you don't have to own necessarily 2 sets. Yeah, I think this is really quite a good quality product. Highly recommend it. Depends what obviously always depends what we need to do. There are situations where the honey crate or the DOP choice might be the better solution. But when you start to get tubes in shot, you start thinking about aesthetically, how are we going to make these tubes look great? Sometimes we put them in old fluorescent fixtures, whatever, a variety of solutions. This is definitely an interesting solution. And I don't know, I've only seen the black version, but I'm sure if you needed a white version, I'm sure they could make that. The great thing about Global 3D is they're a relatively small operation. They're very receptive to custom orders or deviations from stuff they've already put out there. If you need some specialty gear for a certain situation you're doing, they're very receptive and very helpful. I've not yet personally had any custom stuff made. I bought a lot of their stuff off the shelf so far, but I'm sure down the road I'll be hitting them up for some custom things too. Anyway, check them out, Global 3D in the UK.